Hold on to your change jars, treasure hunters. You might be sitting on a fortune and not even know it. Money Bag. Today, we're diving into the top 3 most rare and valuable U.S. state quarters that have collectors shelling out millions. Money Mouth Face. First, 2006 with the Denver Mint Mark, 2006 D. Among all the state quarters from 2006, the one collectors whisper about is the 2006 D North Dakota in ultra-high grade. In average circulation, a 2006 D North Dakota quarter is basically just 25 cents. But when you find one graded MS-67 or especially MS-68, something magical happens. One PCGS/NGC certified MS-68 example sold for about $3,760. Bullion Shark. +1. That's nearly 15,000 times face value. Keep in mind, only a handful of specimens reach that level. Most 2006 D North Dakota quarters graded in the mid-60s bring maybe $1 to $30 depending on condition. CoinAuctionShelp.com. +1. Other 2006 D quarters, South Dakota, Colorado, etc., typically linger closer to face value unless in near-perfect condition or error variety. For example, a 2006 D South Dakota quarter in top uncirculated grades might be $1 to a few dollars. Cointrackers.com. But those don't come close to the shock value of a flawless North Dakota example. So the top candidate for 2006 D is clearly the 2006 D North Dakota in MS-68, or possibly a SMS or Special Mint Strike, which has traded in high auctions for several $1,000s. It's rare to find, and even rarer to find one pristine enough to demand that price. Imagine holding a coin that looks just like any ordinary dollar, but in reality, it could be worth hundreds, thousands, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's the kind of excitement the 2000p Sacagawea dollar coin brings to collectors and treasure hunters alike. It's not just a coin, it's a golden ticket, a tiny disc of metal that could change your life. The year 2000 marked a significant point in U.S. coinage history with the release of the Sacagawea dollar, a coin intended to replace the unpopular Susan B. Anthony dollar. While millions of these coins were minted, a select few stand out not just for their historical significance, but for their rarity, unique features, and astonishing value in the collector's market. The 2000p Sacagawea dollar was minted at the Philadelphia Mint and features the image of Sacagawea, the Shoshone woman who helped guide Lewis and Clark across the American West. This coin was praised for its beautiful golden appearance, even though it's not made of actual gold. The golden color comes from a special alloy of manganese brass layered over a pure copper core. What most people don't know is that in the massive production of these coins, over 767 million at the Philadelphia Mint, some very rare and valuable versions slipped into circulation. These are not your everyday pocket change. These are collector dreams, and some of them are now valued at over $100,000. The most famous and rare of the 2000p Sacagawea dollar coins is the Cheerios dollar. In early 2000, the U.S. Mint partnered with General Mills to place 5,500 Sacagawea dollars into boxes of Cheerios as a promotional launch. While this seemed like a fun marketing campaign, numismatists discovered something extraordinary. These specific Cheerios dollars were struck with a prototype reverse design showing enhanced detail in the eagle's tail feathers, details not found on regular issue coins. Because these coins represented an early version of the design, they became known as pattern coins. If you're lucky enough to find one of these rare Cheerios dollars, it could fetch anywhere between $5,000 and $25,000 depending on condition. But that's just the beginning. Some of the 2000p Sacagawea dollars have sold for jaw-dropping figures. In one unbelievable case, a mule error coin, where a Sacagawea dollar obverse was accidentally paired with the reverse of a Washington quarter, became one of the most coveted errors in U.S. coin history. Only a few dozen are known to exist, and one of these incredibly rare pieces sold at auction for over $192,000. Let that sink in, a single dollar coin, mistakenly struck with the wrong design, now valued at nearly $200,000. That's the kind of anomaly collectors dream of, the kind that sparks wild hunts through coin jars and pocket change, all in the hope of uncovering a treasure hiding in plain sight.
Video script, title, This 1969 quarter could make you a millionaire. Moneybag gemstone rare coins worth a fortune. Studio microphone, intro, midnight to 0:30. Voiceover, with dramatic background music. Imagine stumbling upon a simple quarter from 1969, and realizing it could be worth tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's right, this isn't just any pocket change. We're talking about a US coin so rare, so sought after, that collectors will pay life-changing money to get their hands on one. Could you have one in your collection right now? Stay tuned, because what you're about to discover might just make you a millionaire. Studio microphone, segment 1, background and mint history, 0:31 to 2 o'clock. The 1969 Washington quarter might seem ordinary, after all, millions were struck that year. But here's where things get interesting. In 1969, the U.S. Mint produced quarters at 3 different facilities: Philadelphia, No Mint Mark, Denver, D, and San Francisco, S. Most were made in high numbers and circulated widely. However, only a few rare anomalies slipped through the cracks, coins that weren't meant to exist, coins with errors so unique, they'd become the stuff of legends in the numismatic world. And among them, one particular variety stands above all. The 1969's Washington quarter struck on a proof die with a double die obverse, a rare mint error that has collectors salivating. Studio microphone, segment 2, the rare variety, the 1969's double die obverse, 201 to 330. So what exactly makes this coin so valuable? The 1969's double die obverse, DDO, quarter is an ultra-rare error coin where the design was accidentally struck twice on the die, resulting in strong and noticeable doubling on the front side, especially on the words Liberty and In God We Trust. The S Mint mark tells us it was struck in San Francisco, normally only used for proof coins, but somehow, this double die made its way into circulation. Only a handful of these coins are known to exist. We're talking possibly fewer than 10 verified examples ever discovered. Rarity like this is what drives astronomical prices. In fact, in 2012, one of these legendary quarters was auctioned off for $35,000, and experts believe a pristine, high-grade version could easily fetch over $100,000 today, maybe even more depending on the collector's market.
Don't assume just because your quarter is shiny it's valuable, get it graded by a reputable service. Also, emphasize that many claims online of "these are worth millions" are pure clickbait. In the records I saw, nothing from those 3 years has sold for millions, the top values are in the 10,000s range. Still, for a coin expected to be worth 25 cents to turn into a $10,000 treasure. That's the kind of twist viewers love. You can end your video with a call to action. Before you toss your change or hand over your coin roll, pause a moment. That insignificant quarter might just be your ticket to the Coin Collector Hall of Fame. Drop in a montage of high-grade coins, show auction records, and leave them itching to check their own wallets. If you like, I can format this into a script you can read or voice over directly, including suggested visuals and linkable images. Do you want me to turn this into a ready video script?